Alright, should be streaming.
Wow.
Oh man. Alright. Okay. Okay. We can stop with the thing. Okay, I need to stream URL. Good. I think it works. I think it works. Jesus. Why don't you pick it up? Oh my god, it's fire. Oh my god, it's fire. Guys, oh my god, it's fire. Oh, why aren't you picking it up? Okay. Yes. Good. It got it. Good. Hello. Alright. I think it's working. What does new game do? Okay, good. New game? New game. Window capture no OBS, use borderless in-game game it works. It works. It looks like it works. Oh yeah, I need to get fucking... It's been so long since I streamed, guys. Oh, the streams are as good as always. I love to see it. Okay. Okay, there you go. God, this music is driving me insane. I hear. Happy birthday, Vinci! Oh my god, happy birthday, Vinci! Guys, can we get some happy birthday, Vinci, in the chat?
No. I'm 21.
21!
21. Jesus Christ, man.
21. My goodness. Hello, Wire. Welcome to the stream. What?
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's Vinci's birthday. She's 21. 21? High pencil 0.21 millimeters. Thanks for the happy birthday. Happy birthday, Vinci.
Thank you.
So this is our stream, yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. I haven't watched the stream myself in a even longer time. Yeah. So what if you're wondering what's going on? Well, I thought I haven't streamed in a while. And she's gonna be doing other stuff anyway. So I may as well stream and talk a bit about the army. Because I'm sure some people are curious. If you're not, don't worry. Not much else is gonna happen. But if I wanna talk, right, I need to focus on talking, which means I need a game that is not gonna distract me, right? If we play Noita, I'm gonna be thinking about wands. If we play Rainwald, I'm never gonna talk about anything because there's like 17 million things I need to remember about the run itself, the Artificer run. If I play Vampire Survivors, I had some slop like that, I'm just gonna be hating on Vampire Survivors because it's a bad game. If I play Balatro again, God help me, I need to stop playing Balatro. So, Vinci suggested, what's the least thinking game? Well, it's junking. It really is junking. You really don't think all that much in junking. So that's why we're gonna play junking. And I'm gonna be trying to get an achievement. Now, whether I will succeed is unlikely, but there should be some achievements like completing main babe. Goddammit, I've completed the main game with Snake Ring and Giant Boots. I've already done them. Watch How to Never Fail Again part 1+2 first. Me? I mean, I guess we could watch How to Never Fail Again. Uh, I don't think I'll watch it. Actually, I did rewatch it while in the army at some point, just because I was bored and I didn't have anything to watch. Actually pretty good. Actually pretty good. I was surprised. Anyway, so I've beaten Main Babe with Giant Boots and the Snake Ring, which means I have to play some else. Oh, hello, Wetfish. Which means I have to play either Ghost of the Babe or New Babe Plus with Giant Boots or the thing. That seems significantly harder to me than Main Babe, but I suppose we may as well try. Sacrifice crown or remain the king. No. You know what? We can just remain the king. Keep your crown, find your own way to the other world. Yeah. Okay, we need to first equip the Giant Boots. So let's quickly do that. Remember the damned controls. Options. No. Inventory. I need big shoes. Giant Boots. Equip. Alright, so now we restart. Let's just save and exit. We have them equipped, so it should count now. No music at all. Gone. Now we go new game. Delete save. Let's remain a king. Okay. And now we're gonna try to beat fucking New Babe Plus with Giant Boots. And that's basically... I just basically can't move back and forth, so I have to only like jump like this. Which I haven't played all that much of. It's been a while since I played the damn game at all. So we're probably not gonna succeed at all, really. But that's fine. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter if we succeed. We're just gonna jump back and forth anyway. So yeah, guys, how you guys been doing? Anything happen? Because for me, the whole moment is that I've been in the army for a while. Yeah, if I've been fine, that's good. That's good. And any games? I don't know what to ask. Feel free to talk as much as you want because I don't have that much to say. Have exams soon been fine though? Oh shit. Exams, shit. Back at it again with the university. Modded industry, the same as always, eh? Nothing ever changes. Oops. Fair enough. You just playing industry. I spent actually 8 hours 2 days ago making a schematic. What's a schematic? Oh, how do you do this? Oops. Yeah, this ain't easy, to put it one way. I don't think we'll succeed. I really need to like actually look up what the hell Mindustry is. Mindustry schematic. Why is there a mindustryschematics.com? Ah, like a setup on how to organize things in such a way that all the like resources get where they need to, all the guns are protecting and stuff. It's like a blueprint in Factorio. He's done it again. He said the F word again. This is something. New screen, let's go. Yeah, fair enough. Oh Jesus. Nice, new area. Big win. Oh. How do I do any of this? Yeah. So if anyone has any questions on basically anything army related, do let me know, because I don't know where to start, you know. But I suppose we may as well start from the beginning. Can just talk about something there. Yeah, I really don't know where to start. But yeah, I mean, you get drafted for it. You go to the place. They drive you to the place. You're all confused, and then the first week is pretty horrible. It's pretty horrible, not from any like sense of them, like, I don't know, treating you badly or anything. They don't really treat us that badly. Man, I hope I don't go on too many tangents, but like, you know, you look at those like American military movies, and you see army as like, just, again, I'm only talking about Lithuanian army. I'm sure there is just a disaster in something like, I don't know, Ukrainian or Russian armies. I'm sure those are, let's put it that way, you know. Or wherever you guys are from, you can talk about your experiences with the army. But yeah, no, it's not really that bad. It's more so just you're just not used to it. True. You're just not used to it. I mean, it's a very big change in life, especially for me, who, you know, sits at the computer all day. Pretty much work, computer, home, computer. So it's a pretty big change, and you basically have to do something all the time, right? Especially in the case of the first 3 weeks for us, where, you know, we don't get let go home. So the first 3 weeks we just sit there and we do a bunch of stuff, a bunch of different lectures, some practical stuff, but primarily in the first few weeks it's lectures on like a lot of stuff. That's true, a lot of the formation stuff. You don't like get any type of like gun or anything like that for a while, because you need to make sure to be like clean first. Like there's a joke of like the most, what people think a soldier uses the most, which is, you know, a gun, and what they actually use the most is the mop. You gotta clean a lot. You gotta clean every day, of course. So yeah, we definitely use mops way more than guns. That's for sure. And yeah, you need to make sure you're like you like walk properly in formation, so that when you're outside you don't look like shit. The mop fire emoji. True. We love the mop, especially now. I'll talk about this later, but now I'm in a different place, and they actually have mops where you can, it's a bucket and a mop, and you can put the mop in like a place in the bucket and like spin it to get all the water off. Insane. So useful. Previously, every time, take it off, put it on, those fucking metal pipes is what the mop itself is made out of. Very exciting to use, very fun. I'm just kidding, it's fine. Shit, we made it to a new area. Yeah, we have those at our house too. Yeah, but it's pretty good. Yeah, the mop bucket, and yeah, so you clean a lot. I mean, you clean a lot. Yeah, you just learn about, like, again, like some patriotism stuff, some history of Lithuania, formation, like, you know, walk straight, turn to the left. May seem a bit obvious, but when you need to like manage even 75 people walking properly, like everyone walking at the same pace, the same steps, there's some stuff to learn. So that takes up like the first while. And then yeah. So that's like mainly the first three or so weeks. You do learn some tactic stuff as well. But yeah, the first week is horrible. I was crying a lot. Well, not crying. I was just sad a lot. Not much places to cry because fucking everyone's everywhere. Oh shit, it's the depression jump. But that's alright. That's just how it goes. You gotta get used to the new environment, and I'm bad at adjusting to new stuff. As you guys may know, I'm playing the fucking same game, the same fucking stuff. But eventually you get used to it. Eventually you realize this is just how it is. It also was very bad on the feet. I don't know if I have like some fucking disability or something, but my feet hurt way more than what I understand others do. Really cannot make this jump, eh? Can I get there? Can I get there? Can I make the jump? Thank you. But eventually got used to it. Got used to all the walking and all the standing and all the stuff like that. That's true. I just realized there's Slay the Spire 2 came out actually. Should check it out at some point. Yeah, there was that. And then after the 3 weeks, we managed to get we could go home for Christmas. Very cool. And yeah. Feel free to ask, by the way, whatever. If I don't answer your question because I can't answer your question, I mean I can't talk about it that much. Can't tell you everything. Don't worry about it, but generally I'm willing to answer anything. Doing good as usual. Yeah, that was the sort of first 3 weeks. A bunch of cleaning, a bunch of getting used to new people. That's also true. I don't usually speak to like different types of people, right? Like even here as I'm talking to you, as you're kind of like similar internet-ish people, right? But there, I mean, there's like a bunch of people that fucking don't game and stuff. Obviously a bunch of people that do. And it's just a lot of different sort of personalities. Some people love smoking. Some people sit quietly like me. Others do other stuff. It's weird. I just don't go outside much. So because of it, I don't get used to many people. Yeah. What am I talking about? Then after that, chilled at home with Vinci after 3 weeks. And after that, they usually let us go. I think they like on weekends. So I've actually been coming home for most weekends, which is very nice. Big fan. Oops. Big fan of that. And that also is a sort of motivating factor, right? Just reach Friday, if anything. Yeah, trying to think. Yeah. It's about, again, ask questions. I'm just waiting for questions at this point. Don't worry, when we're in the lecture, not a lot of people ask questions too, so I get it. Yeah. And then after that, after the 3 weeks, the next 3 weeks break, the next 8 weeks were basically just a lot of different like basic soldier training, right? Because at least the way it works in Lithuania is that every soldier has to go through their basic training, right? Where they learn what every soldier needs to know. So again, formation type stuff, a lot of the tactics, how to shoot. What else is like obvious? I mean, respecting, ranks, knowing what ranks you need to respect and stuff like that, which is everyone above you, because we're the lowest rank. And learning about that type of stuff, which is, for the most part, it's not like super useful in a sort of civilian setting. There is one exception, which is that we had like an entire week dedicated to just first aid, which I was a big fan of. That was probably my favorite week there, because the whole week you don't like do any like physical exercises or anything like that. You just wake up, do your usual routine, and go practice first aid. And this isn't like, the first aid you will see in like civilian type stuff. This is like, it's not just CPR, it's like knowing how to like bandage, lost limbs. Obviously probably not gonna come in handy that much in civilian life, but it's more for army, but it's still something useful to learn. A lot of like other like general illnesses as well, like heart attack. Isn't Lithuania kind of close to Russia? Yes, it's pretty close to Russia. Some may argue it effectively borders Russia because Belarus is like very Russia adjacent. So yes, we are very worried. I mean, not me, but like the country as a whole is very worried about like the whole, Russia moment. Because, we're not like Ukraine, right? We can get attacked and destroyed way more easily, right? Because Ukraine is at least really goddamn big. But I mean, for Lithuania, most of the country can get hit by missiles just from Belarus or Kaliningrad. The little like piece of Russia next to the Baltic Sea. If you open up a map, you can see it. As Russia's territory, again, that can just beat us up easily. The main reason we aren't like absolutely shaking in our timbers, as some may say, is because we're part of NATO. But at the same time, like a lot of people are questioning just how much NATO will help with this type of stuff. Because like how much is it sending to Ukraine? Ukraine isn't part of NATO or anything. But how much is it really going to help if like you see how much countries are helping Ukraine, which isn't like, it's not that much. It's not like, everyone against Russia or anything. So because of it, a lot like the Lithuanian army has gotten a big budget increase. So much so that our pay, I don't know if I can exactly say, I'm pretty sure I could say it, but just in case I won't say it, but our pay we get like pretty little money per month, like during our like training here for the 9 months. I'm gonna be in the army for the next like 5 more months, 6 more months. So during our 9 months of service here, I'm going to be getting pretty shit pay, but again, all food, housing is covered to, because you're sitting there, but pay is kind of bad. But at the end, if you get through all the 9 months, you get a pretty good amount of money, and like the soldiers, like the drafted soldiers, right? The amount of money they got in the previous year was like, some amount of money, pretty good money. And in this year, it has doubled in size. Um, Along with like a bunch of like professional soldiers that actually like serve in the army, like after being drafted and all that, or going through the basic soldier training and all that. Like those get a big rise too, like to make it an actually competitive salary, especially if you don't have any education. I mean, for me as a programmer, um, a lot of the like pay isn't, it's not as good as being a programmer. If I can get a decent job, like it would be about as good as like probably my current job that I was working with in the like whole websites making thing. Um, so it'd probably be about as good, which is like, it's pretty solid overall. Not a lot of people, definitely not everyone can get such a good opportunity as me. So if you don't have an education, it's a pretty solid way to like make some money. Not to have a living and all that. But with an education, it's like something to consider. Yeah, I don't know what what I was talking about. You have to go now. Bye bye, Wetfish. Bye bye. Yeah. So it's a fair question. Like the whole thing is a whole moment. The Lithuania to Russia moment. It's a whole political discussion. Stay safe, Drew. Stay safe, and stay loud, and stay loud. Still remember. But yeah, good question. Good question. If you if you want me to elaborate on anything, let me know. There you go, small jump. But yeah, the medicine thing, right? I was talking about the medicine thing. So we get like an official certification too. So that helps for the driving license. For example, like it counts because you need to have like a first aid thing if you want to drive. Worst part of my army is no rainbow. True. Hello, garbage wastes. Also known, I'm pretty sure, crowded. That's true. That's true. No Rainwald. That's true. I have not played Rainwald at all. I have been hitting Nexus over weekends, but that's because you can play some Nexus and you can call it a day. But Rainwald is like a whole thing, To be fair, I'll talk about this later, but I could theoretically stream Rainwald in the evenings, but I'm not gonna do it. But that's a bit of a whole moment. PB, by the way. PB gone, by the way. Yeah, so the medicine stuff is very good. I mean, you just learn first aid. What's not to like? Very good stuff. We also had some trips to the forest, which are of course very fun. In our case, we got somewhat lucky. It was really cold, as in like minus 25 degrees at night. So we didn't actually like sleep over. Actually, first time. Almost had it. Almost made it to New Bay Plus. Almost actually started the challenge, as they say. So that helped. That definitely helped. But there was it was not easy in the forest. That's for sure. I am not a big fan of it. Another question is: Lithuania likely to conquer the world, or do we still have a few years left? Definitely, at least a few years left. But no, we're not close. The Lithuanian army is just currently in the process of a lot of like in my opinion, I should say. Like, again, I don't actually know that much. We have a good budget. Again, for our army, we don't have the U.S. military budget. We have a decent amount of budget, but we just don't have enough manpower. So a lot of effort is going into training new people and getting new equipment and raising salaries so that people actually want to stay and, stay being motivated and all that to keep doing stuff and improving the army. But it's just there's still a lot of different I guess developments you could say. It's just a lot of things to work out. It's a bit unorganized, you could say. We really do be falling. We're so close. But we're getting there. We're getting there, I suppose. Conquer the world is very, very far away. There used to be the whole thing of LDK. I can probably pull it up. Where's the whole thing? There you go. Maybe a Europe-sized map. Yeah, let's just close these. I can switch to display capture real quick. There you go. We used to be this big, right? Currently we're basically this big, right? Maybe if I can pull up Europe. Ah, there you go. Yeah, we used to be this big, really big, or on a different map it's this big, and now we're basically this big. But that was obviously a long time ago. That was in I don't know, 1500s was it? So yeah, but it was it wasn't super strong, stable stuff. It was basically just us really quickly grabbing a bunch of territory. It's how Russia is really big, but most of it is Siberia. So yeah, so that's probably our main sort of influence. So Lithuania is the Hungary of Baltics. No, yeah, Hungary, Austria, that empire you mean? I mean, the basic history of Lithuania is we used to be a bunch of little tribes worshipping our own gods. Then those damned the Crusaders came over. They're knock knock, it's Christianity time, and we said nuh-uh, we don't like Christianity. So we fought with them for 200 years. We were fighting with them for a while. Then eventually we sort of made our own territory. We started to really increase in size, as I showed you in the picture. We got really big through a bunch of diplomatic stuff, conquering stuff, nothing insane, nothing like the Mongolians had. Basically got really big. But then we decided to basically Russia came over and started to really attack us because we're really big. And so we were yo, we need something. We need a solution to our problems because we can't fight off the Russians. So we decided to make a treaty with Poland to merge the two countries, sort of. And we merged the two countries. We got pretty strong, but it didn't really work out. We still got beat up. That's why a lot of Lithuanians kind of still don't like the Polish people. And a reason, if you will. I don't care. So we got beat up, and then as we got beat up, it's the we started to get reduced territory until I think it was the Russian Empire, the Austria-Hungary Empire, and another one, the Germans, the Prussians. the Prussians, they all started to like chop us up into little bits and take each part for themselves. And so we got chopped up until we lost all our shit. We lost all our. We got just basically consumed by these three countries, and the main core got consumed by Russia. So we got consumed by Russia. Then World War One. Then World War Two. Again, just a disaster overall. But then we're like, yo, we have this whole Lithuania thing. Lithuania is cool. We should bring it back. So people started fighting for it. And eventually in 1990, we managed to get it. We managed to get Lithuania like independence. And since then we've been chilling, just like, you know, trying to make stuff happen. And the rest of the Baltics, I mean, Latvia, Estonia, they also got freed from the Russians with their own independence, as well. So, and that's sort of the Baltics history. Estonia wants to be more like in the whole like Nordic stuff with the Sweden and Finland. Latvia is kind of just chilling in the middle. We chill with Latvians. And yeah, but they were I think they were conquered by the Crusaders. So they had like a slightly different vibe to it. I think they were more like Prussian controlled. If I don't know. But yeah, that's a sort of like short history, if you will. Yeah, good question. So yeah, anyway, back to the army. What was it? Medicine, yeah. Again, like, I mean, I learned, like, I actually have this paper right here. You can hear it. Just like, we learned the march pause algorithm. Basically, like, you know, you go letter by letter, right? Do you still have Lithuanian gods? Yeah. I actually haven't like looked into it a lot, but here, let me look it up real quick. It should be in here. There you go. Like, if I understand, there is like lore to it, right? Like how there's like, think of like Lithuanian gods, sort of like Greek gods, where like we have like Perkūnas, for example, which is the god of lightning, right? There's like, there you go. I'm just looking up some Wikipedia stuff. There's a bee god, a goddess, I should say. What is this? Fire god. Stuff like that. Yeah, no, stuff like this. How much they play an influence today? It's sort of, we have them. It's more in the traditional Lithuanian side. A lot of Lithuanians are Christian. A decent amount like to just keep the sort of Lithuanian traditions. And there's like a whole thing of like traditional clothing, dancing, rituals, type of stuff like that, which people like to do and live by, which is fine. But it's not like mainstream, if you will. I think I don't. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's hard to describe how popular it is, because I kind of don't know myself. I don't look into that type of stuff. But even like the army, like battalions, for example, are sort of named along the gods. Like, for example, the current battalion I'm in is named after one of these gods. It's like, I'm not gonna say exactly where I am, for good measure, but it's basically partly named after it. It's like a long name, and one of the Lithuanian gods is included in it. So there you go. It's sort of a thing. It's sort of a thing, but a lot of the time it's just sort of Christianity. We got them churches, we got them stuff. So yeah, medicine. Thank you for the question. Good question. Because I myself don't actually know that much, so just kind of remembering something I was taught in school. March pause. Yeah. So we have this algorithm, march pause. Again, feel free to ask questions. What's really changed in Lithuania with the last 4 years of Russia's invasion of Ukraine? It's a good question. I don't really look into politics myself much, right? I'm of the opinion that if something is bad, I'll like look into it and vote against it. But in my opinion, Lithuania is a very chill place. I don't have any issues with the way Lithuania is governed. I'm sure there are plenty of improvements, plenty of conflicting opinions. But I just don't really notice them. I don't know, the taxes seem fine to me. The bills seem fine to me. The overall, providing of healthcare and services like that is fine. The police and fire brigade and whatever. So I don't have an issue. So I don't really care to look into politics. I look into other stuff. I'm sure from a political side a lot has happened. But in terms of like what I noticed being a difference is there's, of course, people talk about it. It's a pretty popular subject overall to talk about the Ukraine-Russian moment. A lot of Lithuanians are very interested in it. Partly, as I mentioned, because it's relevant to us. Again, we could get attacked by Russia as well. So there's that. There's a shit ton of support for Ukraine here. A lot of support. And as a similar result, there's a lot of the Russian people are starting to like Russia a lot less. Like we noticed, for example, because Vinci, she doesn't know Lithuanian, she's learning it. But she doesn't know Lithuanian, and so she has to sometimes speak Russian. And in Lithuania, a lot of people understand Russian because, again, older people are just know Russian because they grew up in a Russian-speaking country, right? No, we were occupied by Russia and all that. So they just know Russian. And in like places like Vilnius, for example, the capital, which is sort of on like the southeast of the Lithuania, it's very like, it's kind of close to Belarus, the Russian influence, and so a lot of people speak Russian there. But so essentially, you can speak Russian here, like a decent amount of the time, I should say. But over the past year, we've noticed just how like there's like a slow sort of like disgust for it. If you speak Russian, it's like you sort of get like weird looks. Again, we're in Kaunas, which is like a much more Lithuanian town than Vilnius is. There, speaking Russian is like chill, normal. But here it's like you get comments of like, so when are you gonna learn the language, which is fair, obviously. But it can be a little bit like in a sort of hateful way. But anyway, so there's that. Russian dislike has definitely increased. Ukraine support, of course. Ukraine has become a much more known situation, if you will. The military budget has increased. Can he do it, Chad? Can he do it? The military budget is increased, but I think that's partly because Europe's military budget is increased. Like, I think there was a thing, I'm not exactly sure, but like some sort of law or treaty or whatever that came out, which is like where countries have to spend like at least 5% of their budget or whatever to their military or something. I don't know. It's just like everyone has to increase their military spending, and so Lithuania did it as well. But I mean, we're not stupid. We can see that we need to have a military. Right? You can't rely on fucking America to do anything because it's America and Trump, and need I say more? Oh my god, look, we're in an area where my debuff doesn't actually do anything because it's part of the area's gimmick. But so yeah, so that's increased. And yeah, that's all I can really think of. I'm sure there's a bunch of political stuff that's changed. That's all I can think of, I think. It's mainly just that type of stuff. So yeah, thank you for the question. So March pause. Where did the paper go? Where did they put the paper? I put the fucking paper's gone. Well, it doesn't matter because I memorized it. It's the place from the video. How to never fail again? Yeah. This is the start of New Bay Plus. This is the start of the second hour. We were just sort of like climbing through the first hour to reach this one. So yeah, it is. Message retracted, real shit. But yeah, so the medicine stuff we learned, that's like you first check for massive bleeding as sort of the most important part, because like, for example, massive bleeding from arm, 40 seconds, you're done. You're donezo. Okay, not 40 seconds, like a minute. But after that minute, it's going to be really fucking tough to like revive you. It's very interesting hearing about how places closer to these things react to them, since I'm all the way in New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand is pretty far. Pretty far. I would imagine that you guys don't really have like a lot of military issues. Because like I would imagine like maybe like some budget issues. Not to say you have them, but like military issues, like again, you have Australia. I'm sure you guys are pretty chill. You just sort of joke around on how each other sucks, but overall chill. And then everyone else is pretty far, so you're kind of just chilling. Maybe fighting with China on the international waters or something, because I heard they like fuck up coral reefs and shit. But overall, probably chill from the military side. I mean, again, like Spain is pretty chill on the military side. It's part of Europe, but that's about the extent of it. I mean, who's gonna go to Spain? I don't know. Switzerland, again, super neutral. So yeah. Why am I so fucking my throat hurts so bad. Just keep drinking water. So yeah, so you first check for massive bleeding, then you check for airways. You make sure that the person can breathe, and then it's a bit interesting how you first make sure that the airways are open, so you make sure that the person can't breathe, but only then do you check if they're actually breathing. But I guess it makes sense. So then you go to R, which is respiration. You check their breathing. You check any like injuries to the chest or the back, because again, that could hit the lungs, and breathing is very important. You move on to then C. You make sure their pulse is all right, because again, they could be having some real issues, very high pulse, or maybe they have inside bleeding, and then you check if low pulse may mean inside bleeding. And then H, which is like head. Make sure they don't have any head traumas, and hypothermia. Make sure they're not really cold or anything. Stuff like that. Check their awareness if they're reacting to pain stimuli, verbal stimuli. And then you move on to pause, which is like pain. Maybe you want to give them some pain medication or something like that. I'm not sure. Probably. I'll just say it like this: some units have, you know, how do you say this? Pain relievers, painkillers. There you go. And they can apply it, so that's where they would apply it here if it really hurts that bad. And yeah, then you check, like, use antibiotics, which we personally don't do. And then you look at wounds and splinters, which is ironic, splinters, where you like bandage up the wounds. This is actually the part where you do any bandaging unless there's massive bleeding. So you gotta make sure everything else is chill first. So there's a sort of algorithm, right? Like how you learn the whole like medicine type stuff. That's what we were learning, which is pretty useful. Just something to keep in mind. Not a huge fan. Yeah, that's fair. Nice. Okay, good. Yeah. So that's one thing that we learned there. That was probably the most useful thing to learn there. I plan to, after army, get a driving license. I don't like driving at all, but oh shit, that's right. I can't actually fucking click left and shit. No, stop myself on the ice without jumping. I forgot. Yeah, I plan to get a license, partly because like, as much as I don't like cars, you just can't escape them. It's a fucking it's not America bad, but it's not Netherlands good, I could say. So can't really escape the car. Plus, one of the benefits of the army is that if you finish your 9 months, you can go like through the whole driving thing, learn to drive, and they will pay for it after. They will pay for your courses. So that's like, I don't know, $500 down, $500 saved, pretty good. Some definitely pretty solid. So yeah, that was the medicine week. That was probably almost certainly the best part. And yeah. What else was there? Tactics. Can I say this? I think it's fine. I actually threw one real grenade, which was quite spooky, because I did not expect that it's actually kind of difficult to pull out the pin. Not like hard or anything, but more difficult and requires at least some knowledge of how to do it. You don't just pull it out and it falls out. You have to like very quickly like pull it out, and I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't immediately pull it out. I was like slowly pulling it out, and that caused me some issues. That was a bit spooky, but I still threw an actual live grenade, which is something. But yeah, mostly just stuff I shouldn't talk too much about, but just tactic stuff, like how to move through terrain, how to move in combat formations, how to shoot, of course, a lot of shooting. Yeah. I can also mention our generally daily routine. Can I stop myself? Let's go, PogChamp. Oh Jesus. I'm not used to not being able to stop myself. But yeah, general routine is you wake up at 6 a.m. ready and excited for the day. Oh, really thought I'd slow myself down there. just absolutely excited for another day in the army. Then you have the morning exercises. Probably at around, like, I don't know, 6:05 or whatever. You have a couple minutes to prepare. And after that, trying to think of how to beat this. Oh, Jesus, it's so slippery. It's almost like it's a slippery zone, huh? Yeah, you have your morning exercises. Then you come back, make sure, like, do some organizing again. The main things you need to do in the morning is, like, I don't know, brush your teeth, make your bed, which can be kind of tricky at times, but it is what it is. You get used to it. Make your bed, dress up, all that good stuff. You go eat. The food's actually pretty good. I don't know how it is in other countries. I have no complaints about the food. Ooh, I don't like this. I don't like it. Okay, I like that. Oh, this is horrible. There's a sort of... Okay, I'll come back to this argument a bit later, but essentially you eat. After eat at 8 a.m., you have your morning checkup. They just basically check if you shaved. You have to shave every day. Not your hair. I mean, at first you have to shave your hair pretty low, which I don't mind because I like short hair. But in terms of, like, your beard, I mean, you have to shave it every day. And yeah, and then just lectures. Eat at 12, lectures. Eat at 6, and later on, theoretically around 7 you're supposed to have free time, but especially in your first, like, 3 months in the basic training, you're not really getting free time. I mean, no, like, you're getting in the first 3 weeks we barely got any free time, because before we go to sleep we put away our phones, just lock them in the armory, and so, you know, maybe they'll give you phones. After that they're a bit more relaxed, but they still, like, you know, you clean the whole floor then, or you do some other shit. So yeah, I've enjoyed learning all there is to learn about Lithuania, but I also need to sleep, so goodbye, Rockman. Bye, Crowded. Have a good sleep. It's all good. You can always watch the VOD if you're curious. I'm not gonna be streaming much more anyway. So yeah, stay safe, stay loud. Yeah. So you get some free time. At 9 you do your final checkup, and then you can go shower and stuff like that. And at 10 you go to sleep. What kind of lectures did you have? Are there specializations or something? So that's a great point. Lectures, kind of depends, but the main oh Jesus, so slippery. I haven't actually seen you play this game, lol. That's fair. I mean, no, true, the YouTube, I mean, How to Never Fail Again is full of my footage technically, but the Babecasts are real playing, and there's the recordings. I don't know. I used to record myself playing. Maybe I could find it somewhere. Especially the final map, Babe of Ascension. By the way, hello Caps Lock. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, no. Yeah, that's true. I don't actually play this game all that much. So the lectures. A lot of the times when you can sort of split into a few things. You can split into purely theoretical lectures, right? So at the start, a lot of it is like about history, about certain, like, basic things you need to learn. Like, I don't know, what does a white flag mean? You might think it's surrender, but it's surrender and I want to bargain. It's both, at least for us. So like little details like that, learning all the ranks and stuff like that. Later on, a lot of the lectures are preludes to the practical stuff, right? So let's say, you are learning about combat formations, right? So at first, you're gonna go to, upstairs into the lecture room where you're gonna learn about how it looks vaguely, how you're supposed to move, so on and so forth. And then you go outside and practice it. So a lot of the lectures look like that. During the medicine week, we had a lot of lectures about medicine and then practical lectures about how to apply that medicine. And currently, as I'll talk later, we're talking about more the specializations. So for the specializations, I mentioned that I'm gonna be here for 9 months, right? 3 months have passed. And the first 3 months are soldier training, basic soldier training, right? Basically, the basics, right, of what every soldier needs to know. So this is just the standard stuff. But after this, everybody goes to their own battalions, right? The most popular battalions, obviously, like the infantry battalions. Not the battalions. Is it battalions? Yeah, it is battalions. My bad. So the infantry battalions, those are the most popular. That's where most of the people get called, right? And they go on to learn a lot of the infantry stuff, like how to shoot different guns, for example. I don't know how much I can say, but just a lot of the more advanced, tactical stuff, like what a soldier would need to know if they got put on the front lines of Ukraine. That's the sort of stuff they need to know. But there are other battalions. There's, for example, the marine battalions, which deal with the sea stuff. There's the logistics battalions, which deal with logistics. And the one I'm in is, let's just say it's the communications battalion. It's basically the one that handles it's the IT department of the army. So that's the one I'm in. And so the stuff we're learning about is I don't know how much I can say, but it's related to various communications type devices. Again, satellites, for example, right? So that's what we're learning about. And so after the first 3 months, I actually went to a different place, and with slightly different rules and type of stuff like that. And that's where I'm currently chilling. It's a bit more relaxed here. Again, the first 3 months are supposed to be really bad. Not really bad, I should say, but more harsh. Because again, they want to beat you up, and then rebuild you, right? That's the sort of general military mindset. But here, because we're sort of more incentivized to think with our heads rather than our arms, however you think with arms, we are overall, it's more relaxed. So some people have brought even their laptops here. I'm not planning on doing that. In theory, I could bring a laptop and grind Nexus, for example, if I have the time for it, of course. But it's a bit much. We'll see later on, based on how much free time we get. But yeah, there's definitely a big difference because, for example, on Thursday, for the entirety of our free time, however much we had, there was a battalion from the Marines, and their whole free time was them cleaning guns. So there's a difference in mindset there. Nexus is only actually because it's tactical. Real shit. It does say tactical. It's tactical in the name. But yeah, I have been playing Nexus every once in a while. It's crazy, guys. Next week they're supposed to release a new tower, is what they said last week. So maybe next week is the one. There was one new tower. It was very good. But yeah, so there are specializations, and within this like communications battalion, there's even more specializations. There's 3 more, and not sure how much I can talk about it, but I'll just mention that the one I'm trying to get into is cybersecurity. Again, it's the most like thinking, sitting on the computer one, right? I love my computer. I don't mind sitting on computer. I've actually been reading books. This book called Operation Sandworm, which just talks about like the Russia's like history of cyber attacks. It specifically the group by some people called Sandworm. So it talks about that. It's just interesting. You learn a bit about Stuxnet, if you guys know about that, but you learn a bit about like like some crazy shit. Like for example, the first, according to the book, from what I understand, the first time that a cyber attack caused a mass blackout, right? Like actually like shut down energy, like electricity in some area, was by this Russian group, Sandworm, which targeted a specific like Ukrainian power line, transmission spot. I don't know exactly what it's called, but they basically infect these computers with a sophisticated virus that can then get in, look around these computers, find like the system that the industrial control system that the Ukrainian company uses to make sure that the electricity is moving around and stuff like that, and they managed to make a virus that can actually just turn it off essentially. They were trying to actually destroy it to like I think like make a lot more damage, but they only made damage for like an hour. It was they didn't quite succeed in that, thankfully. But yeah, it's like stuff like that. So that's what I'm reading about. Or like how they attacked the shipping company Maersk, Maersk, and how that company like across like hundreds of offices just like had their computers shut down. I think just shut down, not ransomware. They managed to pull that off. So that's what I'm reading about, and it's actually quite interesting. Lag? No, I haven't been playing much. Focused on talking. But yeah, so I've been actually reading books for once. I usually don't read, mainly because reading from a Jesus, this is horrible. How do you make that jump? Oh, such horrible jumps. Oh. Jesus, I can't stop myself in one place. I can only jump back and forth. Tough. He works out at the library. True, that's right. I want to talk about this. So, one thing I will say about the army is that, at least in the place we are in, right? We actually have a gym, right, that you can go to during your free time, if you have the time, of course. And this sort of puts into like, it sort of makes you realize how well you're actually treated here, right? Because again, this is like very healthy for you. you get consistent sleep, very consistent sleep. You know, they don't. Even if they did let you like sleep differently, there is enough. You sleep with 10 people in a room. There's 10 people in a room, so like some people want to sleep, and so everyone needs to work around that. So everyone goes to the sleep at a consistent time. So you get good sleep. You know, a solid 8 hours of sleep. Food is like I don't know if it's like if calculated is the right word, but it's it's served in in the cafeteria in what you need. It's actually pretty like tasty. Like I still prefer Vinci's cooking, but there's obviously going to be way more variety, and it's actually surprisingly cheap. Like per soldier, because it's like a massive operation. So you get good food, you get to work out, you learn something, and if you want to use your free time effectively, you can spend it learning. Because I mean, you could sit around and game. God knows I need to stop playing fucking Balatro. I've been playing a lot of Balatro. But can I? God damn it! Can I get on that? But yeah, it's actually a very healthy like overall lifestyle. That you live here. Like you can say you're forced to be here, but at least you're forced to be here, and you're making yourself overall better. Like when we first got there, I think on the second week, we had this thing called it's the physical preparedness test, is how you could say it, but it's basically just like to see if you're fit enough for the army. And to pass the test, you need to do I think it's 42 push-ups, 50 sit-ups in 2 minutes each. So you have 2 minutes to do 47 push-ups. You can't like rest. You can like lean a little, like put your ass up to rest a bit, but you can't like fall on the ground. And sit-ups you just have to do 50 in 2 minutes. And you have to run 3 kilometers in like, in my case, 15 minutes 42 seconds. So because of that, like when we first got there, my like stats were 19 push-ups, and I think it was like 32 sit-ups or something. He do be jumping. Welcome to the stream, Microsend. Feel free to ask any question about the army. I'm just mainly waiting for questions. You do actually get like better. Sorry, as I was saying, 19 push-ups, 32 sit-ups, and I think like essentially 17 minutes to get the 3 kilometers. And last time we didn't do running because the road was fucking iced over, so couldn't really run properly. But I went from 19 push-ups to 47 push-ups. 19 to 47. Now sure, in the first one they may have rated me a bit, they were maybe a bit more strict. In the second one they may have been a bit more lax, but still quite a difference, quite a leap there, that's for sure. So that just made me like feel way better about myself, gave me some fucking self-confidence for once. And it puts into perspective that you like better body, better soul, or that's like a Lithuanian saying like that. But yeah, that makes me overall better. The sit-ups went to 49, so from 30 something to 49. One shy from passing, by the way. Not that it really matters for the time being. But yeah, and I've felt overall better, like physically and mentally. Like I don't nearly get. I don't think I've ever gotten a headache in the army. Like maybe once, but I've never felt a need to use painkillers for headaches. I sure did for feet. God damn, my feet are not. They're not built for this type of stuff, but it is what it is. But yeah. Did you have some digital detox like thing? Or is it actually noticeable? Actually, guys, heat death of the universe isn't that bad. That's true. It isn't that bad. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. Definitely from the perspective of you objectively getting better, it's good. You're probably going to physically improve yourself more. Because again, consistent sleep, consistent good food, and exercising. That's the main things that your body really needs. Just make sure you're not stressed too much. Did you have some digital detox like thing? Was it actually noticeable? The digital detox, that's actually yes. So the food was good. Yes, the food is good. I'll come back to that in a bit. But digital detox, yes. Generally, at least in the first 3 months, on average, I would say you have about 1 hour per day to use your phone, which is a lot better than whatever I had. So it's just a lot better. And in that time, a lot of the times I'm just going to be calling Vinci, for example. It's a bit of a spooky jump. I'm gonna do it like this. If I could, game. Okay, that looks good. So in that time, I have to call Vinci and stuff like that. Or mom. Takes away from that time. And the rest, I can look up YouTube videos. Sure, I can watch something, but not that much. So actually, over time, I just use my phone less and less. Especially once I started reading. I'm just reading because reading is better than phone. And nowadays, I have not used YouTube in the army for the past 2 weeks. Just no YouTube. I do use YouTube here when I come back for the weekends. I don't know, just to catch up on some of the more interesting stuff. But at the army, no YouTube. Now, granted, Balatro takes up a lot of the YouTube time. But hey, I'd rather have Balatro than YouTube. Because Balatro, in some sense, this is horrible, can at least end. It can get boring. It's the same shit over and over again, but it doesn't feel as bad as doom scrolling. Fuck. Some of the throat. It doesn't feel as bad. Some may argue it is. But I find it more enjoyable personally. But yeah, no YouTube. None. Maybe wants to listen to music, of course. But yeah, so the digital detox, I do think there's progress, right? There's a very slow incremental progress in terms of my digital detoxing. Obviously less gaming. There's of just watching less YouTube overall. I just in general watch it less. I don't game as much. And now with reading, I think that's good. I think it overall is a good thing because I haven't been scrolling in a long time. I banned YouTube Shorts and TikToks a long time ago, and still holding up to this day, just for years probably now. Haven't like watched even a short. I think I watched one short that was like educational, like how to like do this on like a computer or whatever. But if there's a short I really need to watch, I ask Vinci to click on it so that I don't click on it. At least that. But if it only happens like once a month, if not rarer, actually, probably rarer. So yeah, I do think there's a slow incremental progress. I don't like to go to like any extreme amount on digital detox type stuff. But it's there. Oh, I hate this fucking jump, dude. Yeah. So I think the digital detox is good. Good question. Food is good. Food is very good. Yeah, for sure. The food is good. It's just varied. I mean, the food I like is meat with some sort of side dish, vegetables, garlic bread. I don't fucking know. Rice, pasta, type of stuff like that. That's the main food I eat. And guess what? That's basically every day here. You get different meat. Oh, Jesus. You get different meat. You get... Jesus. Oh my god. It's so fucking difficult to get up there. I don't like that. I don't like it. I like it. Dude, please get in there. No. When am I gonna get in there? I don't like it, man. I don't like it. Please. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. Ay. Jump King, am I right? Love me some Jump King. Oh my god, ice and boots is just the best. Yeah, so the food's good. Sometimes you even get like a little like cherry pie or something, cheesecake, some stuff like that. This really jumps my king. On god, caps lock. On god. Yeah, food's good. Toxic relationship with Jump King? No, it's not toxic. I love Jump King. It's a great game. What are you talking about? Welcome to the stream. Baron of Evil, Scariness of Doom. What a name. Great name. I like that. No, it's a great game. You should watch How to Never Fail Again. Yeah, that's sort of it for the food. I don't have much to say. That's what it wants you to think. I have gone through this process so I've been through this process so long ago. How much playtime do I have on this game? I actually don't know. I have 122 hours in this game. I've been through this. Been through it a long while ago. So now it's just a good ass game. Yeah, that's about all I can really think of to say for the time being. Again, I don't want to say too much. It's not like that important. I'm like, from what a lot of what I've said, you could track down who exactly I am where, but why make it easy, I suppose. It's not that important, right? Again, the main things I need to not say are like something that let's say the Russians cannot figure out, and the stuff I'd say they can figure out, but why make it super public if it's not all that necessary? Overall, I would rate the army as good. Honestly, not a bad place to be in. It's, how do I say this? there is definitely a sense of fucking loading bar. What people consider a good life is obviously different between people. Obviously. And to some extent, a lot of people may say, like, sitting and following orders is not how I flow, right? If you're like, I don't know, a hippie or whatever, you know, it's a different mentality. It's a different mindset. But in terms of where I am, right? And I am in a actually very relaxed like place in comparison to the rest of the army, right? I wouldn't say it's relaxed, but it is quite relaxed in terms of the rest of the army. I've seen some other battalions and how they work, and again, they're treated more harshly and have to do more stuff. But in terms of at least where I am, which is the communications battalion, there are fairly objective metrics to your well-being, right? Which is your mood, your overall health, your overall, like, again, physical ability. And being in the army makes you realize that while sitting on the computer for 8 hours straight is pretty like cool and epic and all, if you will feel better if you just consistently sleep, consistently eat good, and consistently work out. You'll just feel better. I'd love to argue against it, but you just will. I would guess for almost everyone, these are important things to do. I understand not everyone wants to do them. I know I didn't. I hated doing that type of stuff. But being here makes you realize how it actually makes you feel. It makes you feel fucking better. You don't feel like you're fucking depressed and it's pointless and all that. You just feel good. Just feel alright. Do I recommend the army to everyone? Obviously not. A lot of what I say can just be reached by, please, by doing it alone. You can obviously eat good and work out and do all that on your own. It's just when you have this motivation, when you have this environment where this is what you have to do, well, you'll do it and you'll feel all right. So it makes it easier in that sense. But of course, your freedoms are restricted. And you have to sit here for 9 months forced. So, not so fun. I would say it like this. If you know what you want to do in life, like I want to be a game developer, I want to be a YouTuber, don't be a YouTuber. I want to be an electrical engineer, I want to be a car repair specialist, whatever, right? Like, if you know what you want to do that. Don't go to the army if you have a choice. And don't tell anyone I told you this, but there's always a choice of whether you go to the army, even if you get called for it. But the army will give you purpose. It'll give you what to do. Don't worry about it. It'll give you what to do. That it's good at that. It'll just take away your freedom for it. A lot of your freedom. But it'll set you up for a objectively solid way of living and give you purpose. So if you don't know what to do, going to the army, I think, is a the Lithuanian army. It's a relatively solid way of having a new experience and probably improving your life, unless you're already healthy. Then I don't know. Improving your life, again, gaining more opportunities in life, and coming out with a pretty decent paycheck. So there's obviously a huge downside of if a war happens, you're gonna be called for it. That's a big downside. That's a big downside, and I don't really have anything to weigh against it. If you're absolutely terrified of it, I don't know what to say. I don't know how I rationalize that if a war were to happen, I would go perhaps even to the front lines, because war is horrible. It is horrible. We had this whole thing where on the one of the final sort of, Jesus, how do you stop yourself there, man? So difficult. Man, that stuff. It's doable. Completely doable. I mean, it's just doing this, right? Well, not that, but that. But man, that stuff. Well, it's all right, of course. We had this thing where on our way back from the forest, we had to return in a very warlike scenario, right? So the instructors take out their guns, start shooting imitation bullets, and start. It's basically the stuff you see in the U.S. like military movies, or the soldiers getting yelled at to fucking crawl very quick, to crawl, to run, to shoot, and it's there's smoke everywhere, that stuff. Horrible. It is horrible. I don't know. Other people didn't mind it much. I hated it. I don't want to be anywhere near that type of stuff, and that's the type of stuff the infantry battalions will have to deal with. So that type of stuff is horrible, and it is a fraction of what the Ukrainians are experiencing, what the real war is like. Because here it ends. You do it for I don't know, an hour or whatever, and then you get to go home. Not home, but to the barracks and chill and clean and whatever. But in real war, this shit lasts years. It's hard to explain how horrible that type of stuff is. Makes me tear up now, Jesus. Horrible. It truly is horrible. But in some sense, being here, perhaps I'm being brainwashed. It does feel like something you have to do, right? You're less afraid because you've spent so much time here, right? With other soldiers, right? And just like how you expect them to have your back, they expect you to have your back. And it eventually becomes less I don't want to do it because whatever. It becomes, you just start feeling like you have to do it. Feeling like you have to contribute in some way. I'm sure that a lot of people here don't actually care that much. Maybe it's just my mentality as somebody who generally likes to have people I usually care about how people perceive me and stuff like that. So But yeah, I don't know how better to describe it. So that big downside is like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You know, maybe there's not gonna be a war, but if there will be, we'll go do what needs to be done. Maybe that's why we're like taught so much to obey orders and stuff like that. It's just, if they say it needs to be done, then it needs to be done. You're just sort of used to that thought process, you know. It's hard to explain because a lot of the times I remember like seeing like military adjacent media, like just whatever, even like some fan comic or whatever, some making fun of military, where it's like a soldier just follows orders. And of course, yeah, to an extent it may look stupid from the side, but on the other hand, you're trying your damn best, probably. I mean, yeah, of course there's some people that are slacking off, but most people are trying their best. And if you don't follow orders, even if it's like, you know, some bad orders, like, it's not just you who gets in trouble, right? But it's your group of people, your fellow soldiers, because the mission doesn't get accomplished or whatever. It's the leaders above you. It's the system falling apart. You're part of this system, and you want the system to work well, because everyone wants the system to work well, because it'll make everyone happy, it'll make you happy, because you'll have to deal with the least nonsense. So you follow orders because you believe them to be right. You believe them to be part of a good system, even if those orders may look like a bit nonsensical. Group 55, the Middle Legend and Nerd Rock is online. Did your time in the army set you straight? I've always been straight. I love women. What do you mean set me straight? Elaborate on the question. Please make this damn jump. Yeah. Yeah, but then what if there are orders that are not morally right to you? It's tough. I mean, it's tough. Yeah, of course. Of course, it's tough. It's just tough. It's. I don't have a good answer for it. I could say, like, you know, if you were told to shoot a Russian, would you do it? I don't know. I don't know. On one hand, I don't like the concept of killing anyone. I don't like hurting anyone. In general, I don't like seeing anyone as a bad person. But on the other hand, if you don't do it, what's gonna happen then? Will he get shot anyway because someone else will come over? Will I get in trouble because he will fight back to kill me? Because on one hand, a lot of the value system here, right, that I have, that I should mention is Vinci, my wife. So I don't, I could not care about myself dying for the greater good, or whatever. But I do care about myself dying because Vinci will be alone. You can't really die from that perspective. Jesus Christ, can we stop eventually in the right spot? Thank you. Goodness me. So that also influences. But then what if the question here is that a Russian a civilian or not? No, or is a good trait to have since you don't want to trigger happy making light of it. Okay, so to answer Wire, civilian Russians. If I was told to shoot a Russian civilian, right? Russian civilian. Obviously, I wouldn't want to do it under any non-ordered circumstance. If I was ordered to, it depends on the severity of the backlash, right? Because, for example, it's like, do you shoot Russian civilian who we know is a civilian, or do 50 push-ups? I'll do the 50 push-ups. It's fine. Do you know, shoot it or be imprisoned for a month? That's a decent question. Probably still like imprisoned for a month. That depends on the conditions, obviously. But if like imprisoned means like slightly worse conditions than what we had in the basic soldier training, then I value life. I really would hate to take away someone's life for something, for a month of my time, because I want to think about. I want to be a lot less selfish. So you can think of it like this. You value your time to some metric, right? And there is, let's say, at a value of 1. And you value someone else's time at some other value, right? So for some people that don't care about others, their self-values are 1, and their value of time of others is at 0, right? So if they just like cut in line and, waste 10 minutes of everyone else's time just to be there themselves immediately, they'll be like, whatever. I personally don't mind going in the back of the line. I don't even mind letting people have my spot in the cafeteria, for example. If someone gets in, like, if we're battling, like, who gets the spot, I'm just like, just go, man. It doesn't matter. Everyone needs to eat, right? So to that extent, like, a life is such a long amount of time. It is so much value in that, in a human life. And I'd hate to take it away. But if it's a choice between me or a Russian civilian, if I get shot or the Russian civilian gets shot, then I'm shooting the Russian civilian. I value my life more than someone else's. Because if it wasn't for Vinci, maybe I would just shoot myself. No, I mean, I would not shoot the civilian and get shot myself. In this hypothetical situation, of course. But for Vinci, I can't see her sad. I can't do it. I value her happiness too. So yeah, that's how I would answer it. It's just tough. It's tough. It's just hard. Feel free to elaborate on the question. It's a good question. I think not wanting to hurt people is a good trait since you don't want to trigger happy people making light of it. That's true. There's this whole idea that a good leader is one that doesn't want to be a leader, right? It's someone who is in a position of leadership and understands that they are leading people. They don't want to abuse their own power. They actually want to make everyone united and work together to reach some actual goal. So yeah, so obviously, like, what was I even talking about? Yes, you do want that empathetic mentality. It's not like they tell us here that like shoot everyone, kill them all. No, obviously not. It's actually, we do have like we do prioritize peace first. Then if there's no other measures, then we have to do our thing. So it's not like we're being trained to be to have bloodlust. Rock casually pointing out why politics are always so fucked. True. I mean, it's just when you get into a lot of these different opinions, it's just hard. There's so many different ways, and so many people value different things so differently. That is hard to unite people like that. Isn't shooting a civilian big no in general? I feel this situation is pretty fucked if you're ordered to do that. So yeah, this is a hypothetical situation. The reason I bring it up is mainly because there's like a bunch of examples of like the the United States people doing that. The United States military just killing civilians. Again, Russians are killing Ukrainian civilians. I'm sure Ukrainians have killed Russian civilians in, just on accident, if not intentionally. It just happens. It's just like, it's obviously something you shouldn't do. It's something you should be heavily, heavily punished for. But war is tough. War is tough. And I hope that people who end up doing that get brought to justice, of course. But sometimes it's just how it is. If you're stuck, let's say you're in a dead end, looking at the only way out, and you see someone coming over, you're with your gun, you're trying to defend yourself, and you see someone coming over, and they're not responding to them calling out, then the moment you see them, will you shoot? Will you not shoot? If there's a soldier and he shoots you first, you're dead. If it's a civilian, then you kill the civilian. No, as an example, right? If you've been separated from the group. It's just, war is horrible. It is unbelievably horrible. It is really difficult to put into words just how horrible war is. Fucking tearing up again. I hate fucking war is so bad. It's horrible. I think war union gives purpose and meaning. Are people in Lithuania more anxious and mobilized now, or not that much? I think people are anxious overall. I think there's a general anxiety because Russia can attack us pretty easily. Can we fucking make this fucking jump? Jesus Christ. When am I getting out of this? Ole moly. Can I just wanna. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Whew. I think there is a general anxiety. I don't know about like mobilization, like from a sort of volunteer perspective, like civilian mobilization, but more people are being called to the army. As I have before mentioned, there's a shortage of manpower and a increase in budget, so more people are being mobilized, and your chances of being mobilized are increasing. Like, for example, when I think my brother, even though he's going to university, he's maybe, I'm not exactly sure, but I think now you might have to like take active action even if you're in university to prevent yourself from being drafted. Because before, if you're in university, you just don't get drafted, you get like delayed. But now you might have to like take more active action, like write a letter saying you don't want to go or something. So they're trying to get more people into it. I'm not sure if that's true, by the way, don't quote me on that. There's also like, they're also considering also drafting women into the army, which is like, it's a bit of a controversial topic, as you could guess. But there's a slow increase, right? Because you can't like go crazy with it or anything. People still have their opinions on the army. They don't wanna. A lot of people don't wanna go, especially the younger people. I mean, there's not like, it's not like how I think in the start of Ukraine, from what I heard, in the start of the 2022, when the whole like Ukraine-Russia moment began again, like at the start there were a shit ton of volunteers to like help fight off the Russians, because, well, you know, fuck them. But I can probably just actually slow down there fully. Let's see. I'm actually curious now. Oh, almost. But nowadays I'm pretty sure it's like people don't really want to go, because again, it's been 4 years of this horrible thing happening. A lot of the volunteers have come and gone, and there's not that many people. So here I don't think there's like a big, like, I could say cultural sort of perspective shift on like army good, but there sure is a governmental increase in drafting. That's how I would answer that question. All of these are great questions, by the way. So yeah. Feel free to ask any other questions. It's already like almost 3, so I don't think I'll be streaming that much longer if there aren't any questions, of course. So yeah, feel free to ask any more questions if you have them. I don't have anything else I can think of to mention, like, on my own. I love it. What a great game. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just like switch to streaming something more. Maybe do a Balatro run or something. Gonna try 2 minutes of push-ups to see if I could make it, because now I'm curious, lol. Absolutely, go ahead. So I'll give you the rules if you're curious. But essentially, 2-minute timer. You can like, you can rest in that time however much time you want. You just have to not put something else other than, you know, your hands or feet on the floor. If you put it, then you stop. Highly recommend to not do it and to try to use the 2-minute time to your possibility. But yeah, that's about it. Good luck. Let us know. Obviously try to go down like properly low, like close-ish to touching the ground. At 9th period is over, will you go back to your job and regular streams? That's actually a good point. So the answer is yeah, probably. I definitely want to continue streaming. Don't worry, my love for Rainworld has not faded or anything of the sort. I still definitely want to finish Chained. I miss it, that's for sure. I will go back to my job regardless, because I'm currently on leave. So like, I'm still employed. It's just that the army has yoinked me. But I think there's even like, they're even paying my company to like, because they've taken me forcefully or some shit like that. I don't know. But yeah, so in reality, what will happen is that on some Friday, I'll end army, I'll go home for the weekend, and then I'll go back to work. So it's gonna be a fun Monday, that's for sure. I will go back to streaming whenever I can. Might take some time to start up, but I do want to do it. I just don't want to start it now because playing once a weekend is a bit meh. I don't mind playing Nexus like that, but playing Rainwall like that, gotta like get used to it. Shout out to the sharp pain in my chest, lol. 10 push-ups. Hey, look, I will always say 10 push-ups. If you can do that, that's not bad. That's not bad. There are plenty of people that can do worse. You should be happy that you can at least do a couple of push-ups. Again, I remember when I started out, like before army, a couple months before, I could do like 15 push-ups max. And obviously I was like, dude, this sucks. But really, You can improve. You can get to the 50 I can do now. It's doable. Sure, it takes time. Could have done more, but I got sabotaged, I swear. It happens. It really happens. I mean, like, I remember we were doing this walk. And we're walking and it's all fine. There's just like a but then I get like a pain like on the right side of my stomach. I know about the on the left side is the one that where like you're out of breath and you're breathing improperly when running. But on the right side, I don't know. It was a new pain. It was really annoying. I still got through it, but sometimes it just be like that. I don't know why. Just keep trying at it. I mean, look. Let me tell you. As much as I hate to admit it, that I was so wrong. Consistent sleep, consistent solid food, and consistent exercise just make you feel better. They just do. I hate to say it because I don't want to believe it myself. But they do. I know they just do. I don't know. So, if you can do more push-ups, just doing push-ups right now, very good, very good, very good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear just someone. I just want to do push-ups. Amazing, because any little step towards that is a good step. Because exercise is good. I don't like it, but exercise is good. I was actually surprised at just how many people here just like sports. Because I don't like sports. I don't like football or basketball. I don't like playing them. I don't like running around and stuff like that. But a lot of people do. So, yeah. Let's see if we can pull this off actually real quick. Yes. Okay. Let's just quickly do this. Okay, I just wanna. No! Oh. Okay, I'll continue my talk about like job in a bit. Oh. I just wanna make it to the next fucking area for once. Oh yeah. Oh. But anyway, so there is, of course, the option of staying in the army. Absolutely, that option exists. And it's a solid question. I definitely could go to the army. And I'm not sure yet. Over the next 5.5 months, I'm not even halfway in technically. I'm going to learn a lot more about what exactly my job there could be. And that's when I'll learn if I actually care that much. I mean, again, I hope I will get a cybersecurity position. But it's not guaranteed to say it one way. So yeah. If I'm not in cybersecurity, I doubt it. So far I don't really care about the other options. But if I am, it's not necessarily a bad option, because I think my general vision for career is really repeating the same mistake, is improving programming and software type of stuff, right? I don't really want to deal with hardware all that much, but software security sounds like a useful thing to do, like even on your resume, right? If I'm applying to fucking Google or whatever, saying year of experience as a cybersecurity engineer or whatever is the right word for it, in the Lithuanian army, looks relatively alright. Along with some, website development type stuff. So I think from a career perspective, it's a decent option. The pay, I think, would be so there's that option. There's the option of staying in my current company, which is the easiest option, right? You just keep doing what you've been doing. And then there's the option of looking for a different job, right? Because my company doesn't pay me like Jesus, that good from an international perspective. I think they pay fine, but not like exceptional from an international perspective. New area, oh my god. So yeah, but it's like it's a whole moment of getting a new job. I'm not a huge fan. I don't think anyone is, I suppose. So yeah. Jesus, this is... There's a hotkey to turn on Snake Ring. And I think I may wanna turn it on. What? Where is it? Is it in-game? Timer options, quick load. Man. Alright, I'll chill for now. That's fine. I thought there was a hotkey, but you might need the mod loader for that. But anyway, yeah. So it's an option, but for the time being, it's just hard to say. I just don't yet know enough. But it would definitely be more interesting than my current job in the company that I have. No, lol. That I work at, because that one is the same shit over and over again most of the time. So yeah, that hopefully answers the question eventually. Hopefully it answered somewhere in there. Yeah, feel free to ask any more questions. I want to at least reach the fucking next screen, because it'll actually show that I reached the new area. I like how usually the screen is like one of the easiest screens, and now it's just not, to put it one way, with these damned shoes. The damned shoes. Alright. Bet. Has your game preference changed at all? No. No, I don't think so. The only thing about gaming I can say is that in the time, like in between, like, in weekends and stuff, I played like Nubby's Number Factory and Balatro. That's the sort of main thing. What the shoes do? I can't walk. I can only jump. So I played Nubby's Number Factory and Balatro. They're both similar-ish games, right? Like they both follow a similar design principle, if you will. But man, Balatro is just a better design game. I'm not really a huge fan of these types of games. But no, other than that, I just still play some Nexus. Still waiting to get back into Rain Mode. That's right, we do play Binding of Isaac, Minecraft, and sometimes there's Rain 2 with Mincy. That's good. We usually do at least one Isaac run. Jesus, not in the throat. So we've just been chilling like that. I've become a more casual gamer in that perspective, and by casual gamer I just mean, by that I mean just opening a game and playing it just to play it, right? Not for any specific goal. Not to say that I still mainly play games to achieve something, to experience something new. But at least with Vinci, I just want to just be with Vinci, play together some, and just chill. And I found that enjoyable. What? Yeah. Do you get PTSD with the join, or is it something you receive after service? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand the question. I I don't know if you mistyped it or I'm stupid. Please repeat it if you can. You're jumping, not walking. Walking has to be upon walking. That's actually true. That's true. Yeah. Walk. Just making a joke. Okay, fair. It be like it be. I will say, it's actually true. A lot of the it's very difficult for me to man goes to the army and loses his sense of humor. Essentially what I was about to talk to. Not that I'd lost my sense of humor, but a lot of like my sense of humor, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe you guys can describe it a bit better, to be honest, because you see me from the side. It's very difficult for me to like make jokes in the army because it's just a very different like culture there. I don't know how to describe it. It's a more offensive, maybe is the right way. Offensive, I mean offensive as in you target others for your humor, right? Which I don't like to do, right? I don't like to make fun of like some random viewers. Why would I do that? But I don't know. So I don't like that type of humor of making fun of someone else. So I don't know. I just can't really. I don't mesh well there for my sense of humor. So I still generally sit and sort of like on the sidelines, not doing all that much. Meow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just wanna wait for a bit.
Great. I've been standing a lot.
Don't even fucking play.
I'm yapping. You know me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is just don't play it. Dude.
Nah, you gotta have some background. We gotta bring back Babycast. Where's Wheel? We gotta bring back Baby.
Where's Wheel? Put Wheel on there.
Put Wheel on the phone.
Yeah.
Wire says hello, V.
Hello.
There you go.
You got my present and everything.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll show you later.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just don't mesh well with that type of humor. Yeah. Though love type of humor. That's words right there. That's what I always say, baby. That's words right there. Please don't fall too far. Okay. Let's see. We can do a couple more questions and then I'll probably be gone. Because I have a feeling I'm gonna be jumping up. I'm gonna fall on the right. Then I'll fall on the right again, and then it's gonna be over. Let's see if we make it. Oh yeah. Oh no. All right. Oh no. Come on. Come on. Okay. Can we get to Underberg? Oh, bit spooky. Oop. Oop. Making progress downwards. You love to see it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. At the risk of politics, how do you feel about the current state of the world being in the army? Well, it sucks. I don't know. We did it. It's a very broad topic you're asking me here. Ooh, can you actually make it like that? Not sure. It's a very broad topic, the state of the world, but I mean, the current state of the world is, I feel like primarily, I don't know, Russia doing its bullshit, America doing its bullshit, and China preparing to do its bullshit. And all I'm hoping for is that they don't do too much bullshit, because I just want to chill. I may be in the army, but man, I don't want to be. I'm just here for the money, if there's any I'm gonna get. I hope so. But I do not want to like deal with all this bullshit and all that. Oh, can I make that? Ooh, that's a rare spot to be in. So yeah, you may want to be a bit more specific on that. Actually doing surprisingly well for the time being. Yeah, that's about all I can say for now. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, nice. Thank God. Oh, how do you even get out of here? Oh, nice. 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 Actually making very solid progress here. I'm a bit surprised. Kind of not even rusty here. For being with fucking big boats, I'd say I'm doing fairly solid here. Oop. Oop, oop. Okay, this should be good. Nice. Oh, this kind of sucks. I want to be on the outside, so I can full jump properly. This should be fine, actually. Yeah, got it. Nice. Will I get pushed out? Don't no! I was really hoping I would get pushed right to the perfect spot so I could full jump up, but we may not be able to do that properly. Dude, we might actually reach Lost Frontier here, dude. This is like an actually good run. I'm actually doing good and stuff. Strange. Greed gets punished. Real. Accurate. Okay. Alright, should be good. Ooh, not quite. Ooh, come on. I just want to get up here. Oh, thank God. Should be fine? Nope. Down we go. Down we go. I'm finally back. Welcome back, Redfish. Well, it's a great time to be back because probably gonna be about time to end this. Yep, especially with that. Yep. Okay, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions to hit me with, feel free. Still got a bit of time before I say stay safe, stay low. Yeah, damn on God. Yeah. I mean, it's just, as I say, day by day, week by week, month by month. We already got 3 months, 3.5 months down. Um, no, wait, fish, why'd you do it? Nah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we already got 3 months through. It might have seemed horribly impossible at the start, but hey, would you look at that? We got a long way ahead, and that was the hardest part. The start is the hardest part, that is for sure. That's what everyone says. So we'll just go. We'll see. And in just a couple of months, we'll be back. We'll be back to streaming some of that rainbow. I do wanna. I miss it. So alright, that's about it. Solid run. I mean, 2 hours 8 minutes. Bunch of jumps, bunch of falls, the usual. We'll be so back through. I can't believe the heat death of the universe will actually like happen, and then it will revert. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how it works?
Revert?
Yeah, the heat death of the universe will revert, and we'll go back to normal life.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just a couple more months until then. Heat life of the universe. True. Heat life of the universe.
Cold life.
Cold life of the universe. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it then. Stay safe. Stay load.